Aloha and welcome to Maui Nonprofit Notes. Now in our 10th year of broadcasting, each week we continue talking story with Maui's nonprofit executive directors and staff to find out how they're working to support those with needs within our community. Maui Nonprofit Notes is generously sponsored by Pacific Source. If you're building or remodeling a home, please stop by Pacific Source's Cabinet and Appliance Showroom located in the Waikapu Bayshard. I'm Susie Tiemann, Executive Director of Lokahi Pacific, and your host for Maui Nonprofit Notes. During this hour, we're going to share some of the experiences of our nonprofit agencies and just how they're changing lives, changing communities, and creating miracles of hope for those with needs. And I forgot, who won the toss?
I think I did.
Okay, we've got Ji-Yum Lee from the Hawaii Nature Center, Maui's Maui branch, which is EAL.
It is.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing really well. How are you?
I think I'm okay, but tomorrow really is Thanksgiving, isn't it?
Do you have your turkey ready?
I got it out of the freezer this morning, and I think it's probably about 2 days too late.
Oh.
Isn't it? Don't they say get it out on Sunday?
A few days, yeah.
Yeah, give it time to really
Rest,
yeah. But I'm sure that if I leave it out on the back porch overnight, it'll be great, ready to go in the oven tomorrow. And nobody can get, I shouldn't say nobody, nothing can get to it because the back porch is up on the second floor.
Oh, but there you go. I was thinking the cats are definitely going to go for that one.
No way. How about you? Are you ready?
I am. I'm in the process of moving, so it's a little bit crazy. So I'm very lucky where my better half is doing a lot of the prep work this
Yay.
time. And I just got to make my mom's cranberry sauce.
Oh, okay.
That's one of the, that's a deal breaker if we don't have that at the Thanksgiving table.
You know, I think everybody has that. How about you, Nancy?
Our deal breaker is green bean casserole.
Ooh.
That is
With the onions on top?
Yes, that is a standard every year since I was a kid.
That's great. Oh,
And that's a standard for a lot of families,
Yes.
I know. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm always shocked when I take that because that is usually my go-to for taking when people have not had it and they think it's some great dish, and I'm like, it took about 2 minutes to put together, but okay.
Yes, the oven does all the work. That's the name of the game, right? And somebody who was saying yesterday, I have to cook the turkey. And I go, hello, you got the easiest part of the whole thing, get it ready, put it in the oven, and just wait.
Absolutely.
Baste it a couple times, right? So, I don't know. But then he clued me in. He deep fries it.
Oh, I've never had that before. Never had deep fried.
Yeah, I've had it once, and it was really moist. It was great. Yeah, but you don't get all the goodies with that. You don't have the gravy makings.
Yeah, that's right.
If you
That's
deep
right.
fry
The
it and stuff.
drippings, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to give that up for the usual, the standard. Yeah. Anyway, let's get on to the subject. So let's talk about what's going to happen at the park. It's not a park. You
At
call
the
it a
Nature
park?
Center. Yes.
What do people call it when they just?
On campus. Maybe.
Oh, campus.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
We're talking about out EAL Valley.
We are. We've been doing some really fun things up there and still continuing to collaborate with the Hawaiian Immersion School, the Independent Hawaiian Immersion School, Kekulo'opi Ilani. So that's been going well. And on campus we have plans coming up between the breaks. So our Intersession Day camp is coming up, and that's our Nature Adventure Camp. It's coming up for winter session running from December 30th through January 3rd. We have no camp, obviously, for January 1st, the New Year holiday. And we are currently offering it at a discounted rate of $260 for that time frame. And we have some additional scholarships available. We've been really blessed where Maui County has provided us with a recycling grant. And the theme is going to be around amazing adaptations in nature and incorporating in recycling and other components for that.
Amazing adaptations.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that takes me off in a couple different directions. What's the direction you're going in?
So we're talking about the different adaptations of the different animals and the plants. We really do a large focus on the native plants and flora and fauna and the native animals around. So talking about different adaptations, for instance, the native oopu having the suction cup fins that help it kind of climb up the waterfalls, right, in the valleys and everything. So talking about different adaptations that occur naturally in nature.
So now these are what, 6 to 11-year-olds?
6 to 11-year-olds.
That's got to be exciting for them to learn some of these things.
It really is, yes. So it's a really fun time, and what's really exciting about this last year is that this camp, we were able to connect it with the permission of Maui County's recycling program to be able to go out into Title I schools, and every Wednesday. So as a mom, I was like, all right, when are our children not learning? And my kid is at A+ from 12:15
Whoa.
to sometimes some kids are there till 5:30 when school or when parents can come and pick them up. So there's almost a full day of time for those Wednesdays during the school week where they're just out playing and that kind of thing. So we were able to leverage that time frame, get connected. We're really lucky to have a great relationship with Kama'aina Kids, and our first 2 pilots were at Waihe'e Elementary and Wai'ehu Elementary. So we served 95 and 85 kids there during that time frame, and the children were able to get broken down into smaller groups and learn all about the different things to kind of prepare them to come to nature camp if they want to afterwards.
Interesting. So they stay right on campus.
Right on campus. We bring it to them.
Bringing the nature to them.
Yes, yes.
Interesting. Now, is that also 6 to 11-year-olds?
So
much?
yes, we're working mostly with 6 to 11-year-olds. We have a little bit wider gap because, A+ kids can range from kindergarten all the way through 5th grade, right? So
Okay. 5th grade is what age?
my son's not there 8.
12?
Yeah, right around 11. Some of them might
Yeah.
be 12, some of them might be 5.
Yeah.
Depending.
see,
I guess
okay.
not. It depends on,
Yeah.
their
school.
age and the school and all that good stuff.
Interesting. Wow. That's a lot of kids.
It's a lot of children, yes. We break them down into smaller groups, and we've got our environmental educators that go out. Kapua, who's spoken, with you before, along with others that go out and, we break them down into smaller groups. And recycling and those kinds of concepts can sound really boring, but it's been a great opportunity to have the kids then have conversations with their parents, because the last thing that a child does is usually the first thing they talk about when they go home when mom and dad pick them up, or grandma and grandpa or whatnot. So
Interesting.
Yeah.
That's great. So you've got a lot of volunteers that are helping you do this.
we have volunteers. We're always looking for volunteers that help to beautify the campus and to help during the program, all of that. But we have environmental educators that usually have a background, and we follow a curriculum and adapt the curriculum every week for different themes to be able to support. Yeah.
Wow, real planned program for these kids rather than just kind of spending time doing whatever during that. How come it's such a long period of time? Is school over at 12, 15 for some of these kids?
Different
Age groups?
Yeah, different
Classes?
schools have different end release times, but on Wednesdays it's
Early,
overall early
yeah.
release day. So most of the time it's anywhere between usually around 12:15 to 12:45 when the kids are out. And so luckily, if there's parents or grandparents or aunties or uncles that can pick up at that time, they do. But people like me who has to work,
yeah.
There's a huge group of kids that are at school, participating in A+ and other things.
That's awesome. But and it's totally voluntary. The kids coming to your sessions.
Yes, it is voluntary. We obviously Kama'aina Kids and YMCA, they're encouraging the children to participate.
Right.
But the kids have been having a really good time. We do projects with them, and we go and we do games with them, and they have little battles against each other about different nature warrior things and fun things like that. So,
Interesting.
yeah,
Nature comes alive to them.
it does. Yeah, and the whole idea. My hope is that we can work to get these children to have some inquisitive minds again and really look up and look around and assess the world around them a little bit more versus, all these phones and iPads and all these different electronic devices have created kind of a generation of zombies if you're not careful, right?
That's true.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
So the picture jumps off the page. It's real. It's
right. And just to, look around and figure out what makes Maui special and what makes us, unique and start to really appreciate those things so that if they find value in that, then they'll cherish that and nurture that versus, it kind of going by the wayside. So I think just starting that early and really getting those kids to really understand the importance and the value of that versus just,
right.
Yeah.
That's exciting.
It is.
I mean, hey, can you come to my office and do that?
We can. We definitely can. We do community programs. You're also welcome to come and visit on a Wednesday, at one of the schools that we go to or come to a program. I just, I was the executive director, but I transitioned as a volunteer now, so I got to go and do the fishing rotation for the kindergarten kids from Waihe'a Elementary, and that was a lot of fun to be doing the direct service component, which I missed a lot. So.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So I just, I'm trying to visualize, and I have a terrible time visualizing things, but I'm starting to see a picture here of these kids just having a great time. Now you're bringing samples of things?
Yes, so we're
cuttings or whatever?
Mm-hmm. So we're talking about different native plants, talking about tea leaves and other things, but also bringing in components of what they can take home and do, what they can do at school. And it really empowers them too, right? To be able to feel like they can participate in the process of something larger than them and taking care of their island. My son, he will not allow me to pick up a plastic water bottle at the store anymore. Right? I get scolded for things. It was bad when he was really young because he's 8 now. When he was 5, 6, he would pick up the trash off the ground in the Costco parking lot and things like that. And then you don't you don't have I have hand sanitizer and stuff because he's just picking whatever up off the ground. This needs to go into the rubbish, Mom, right? So just being, making them feel like they can contribute to the, to the betterment of the island.
Now, do they pick up on the idea that some of these things can be grown at home, and trying to get the plants either from the botanical garden or wherever?
Yes, so we talk about planting native plants and eliminating invasive species and both plants and animals, and really getting a sense of what the forest and the rainforest looked like previously and how we can get back to that and what that changes. I mean, everything, all the interconnectivity of the aquifers and the recharging of the aquifers and the importance of the native plants in that process and the native trees. And it's also connected, right? Culture is environment and environment is culture. So really, getting to the root of that and allowing them to enjoy and really feel connected to that in many ways.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I'll bet you get some interesting questions from them.
Yes. So the last...
Give me something here.
So the last time I did the fishing rotation, we were there, and there was a fish, a silver sword fish, which has a long tail that it kind of looks like it's got a sword, and so they were talking about it, and so they're having these questions about how the silver swords, when they get together, do they fight each other with their swords? Auntie, does this do this? And right, all of that. And one of the cutest things that's happened recently is we had one of the keiki come through who learned about kind of having a reusable lunch box and a zero waste lunch, because we really encourage that during our nature camps. So the kids go home and we have contests around it. So I was told you cannot have anything in there and everything needs to be recyclable, right? My son came home and did that. So one of these boys, he did that. He participated in our nature camp, and then he came to our field trip this year. And he was out there critiquing every child's lunch, right? Saying, that shouldn't be in there, and this shouldn't be in there. And so to the point where Kapua had to be like, okay, buddy, we're not shaming, right? So
interesting. He didn't want to eat what shouldn't be in there.
Right, exactly.
Well, yeah. I'll take that.
So it's great when cool. When young children are teaching us, when my child is bringing back those values to me and reminding me on a daily basis to do that, and that recreating that accountability in our community.
We really do kind of go back to old ways of the shortcuts, the quick and
Right.
easy. Pick up a plastic bottle at the store when you needed something to drink.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So
Yeah.
just remembering to do all those different components and
Interesting.
yeah.
Boy, but that's exciting. I didn't realize that you went into the schools and really to that degree. You know, I was thinking of a classroom or something maybe where there's 15, 20 kids.
Yeah, I think what we realized was that, I mean, human behavior is that behavior change takes 7 to 9 attempts is what studies show, right? So you can't, so, and what we found was during these nature adventure camps, the impacts of the education that we were having was so much greater than a one-day school field trip. So we were trying to figure out how do we engage these children multiple times versus just one day for 3
Right.
hours when they come for nature, to nature center for a school field trip. So being able to do that and integrate that in, and then allow them to come to these nature camps at the end, have that kind of be the culmination of their time there was what we were hoping to do, and it's been a great success. We've got 8 people signed up already, and about 12 more spots left.
Yeah, cool. So mostly the kids come once they get started. They keep coming.
Yes. So once they get started, they keep coming. It depends on the theme that we've got and other things. Usually we rotate different themes or create new themes as different issues come up, within, climate change and other aspects to educate them. And I think it's, when you can make learning fun, right?
Right.
And as a parent, you don't have to be doing that. It's really wonderful, right?
Right.
So-
That's great.
So yeah, you can, not feel guilty as you, over your breaks and,
Yeah.
your child is learning something and coming back with, with additional knowledge and, you're able to do what you need to do during the day and, you get to learn along the process.
Boy, that's great. That's great. Wait, time to take a break. Is that what you're saying, Gary? Okay.
Aloha from Pacific Source, and thank you for your support over the years. Pacific Source has offered more of what builders and homeowners value most in building materials and cabinet design. We've done this by offering superior customer service and products, as well as by designing kitchens and baths that are intelligent and elegant while staying true to your vision and budget. Visit our showroom in Waikapu in Central Maui, where we display a variety of cabinets as well as top-name appliances like Sub-Zero, Wolf, Viking, KitchenAid, and more. We display countertops, tile and wood flooring, and several brands of windows and doors, including Fleetwood multi-slides and La Cantina folding doors. Come in and talk to our designers about making your dreams become a reality. From concept to completion, we really believe our attention to detail and superior service are what sets us apart. Let us show you what we mean. We are a Pacific Source at 515 East Oahe Way in the Consolidated Base Yard in Waikapu, just off Waiko Road. Call us at 986-0380. That's 986-0380, or look us up online at packsource.com.
And we are back. This is Maui Nonprofit Notes, the weekly radio show where we talk story with our nonprofit executive directors and staff and learn what's happening in their world. And this is kind of exciting. I just, sometimes you feel like, you talked about that afternoon is kind of number one, I didn't realize it was such a long period of time on that Wednesday afternoon, although I do see kids out walking around a lot earlier than the rest of the week. But to put something so exciting as what you're doing into that space, and they're not just sitting in a classroom or kind of moping around in the field, not the field, but the playground.
I would love to do
something.
it. I think you should do one for adults. I would like to do it.
I know, isn't that something?
Yeah, interesting.
I'm thinking about that too. Gosh.
Yeah, you learn a lot every time. We're starting more community programs. We actually do the first Saturday of the month from 9 to 12. Auntie Irene, who's one of our amazing educators and volunteers, she comes. We do a program for a beautification program at the Nature Center in Iao. So she's a plethora of information, and you can learn so much from going and participating. And she shares so much about the different components of the plants and plant care, and which ones are native and where they come from, and everything and anything. So that's a fun way to.
Is that during your volunteer day?
Yes, those are
Okay.
the first Saturdays of every
Yeah,
month.
so you've got one coming up next week.
We do. Yep, first
The
Saturday.
last one of the year.
Last one of the year. Oh my goodness.
It doesn't seem possible. Oh, right. So that takes place. What's the time frame on that?
It's 9 to 12.
There we go.
Yep.
The
The
morning.
first Saturday of the month. Yeah, but when it's still cool out.
Yeah.
And there's usually a banner she puts out right by the Nature Center front lobby, right in front of the Hawaiian Immersion School. And, we get together and take some time. We've done big groups, like I'm a Seroptimist also, so the Seroptimist Club came out. Rotary clubs have come out. It can be a great opportunity to do volunteer events, or, Hawaiian Airlines has come out on Oahu to, come and do a big event. And we really try and be inclusive. So some people who might not want to be outside doing stuff, they can, fold nature journals for the kids and stamp those for us. And, others want to be outside learning and, being in the soil can do that. So
That's cool.
Yeah.
It's so interesting that I love a beautiful setting, and a beautiful setting is all these beautiful natural things. And then I look at my backyard, the cliff behind me, right? And I see all these crazy plants that are growing, these vines that are growing. And, it's with a year like this one where it's been dry, all the wrong stuff grows.
Absolutely.
And you look at it and you go, oh, I need to get in there. But it's a steep, side of the gully. And I can't do it, so
Right.
I've got to hire somebody to do it. But nobody has any creativity with what to put there so that stuff doesn't grow. What can we do on that hillside that can look like the nature center?
Right. Yeah, no, I think that's really, really hard because the invasives that have been brought over are so will choke out a lot of the natives, right? So it's really finding ways to mitigate those kinds of situations, and move forward. But it's definitely a uphill battle.
Pardon the pun.
Yes, right. Exactly.
Right. I think probably the best thing that's growing back there is some cane grass. Now, if that's the best, I've
Right.
got a problem.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
But we're trying to find somebody to tackle it, and it's not easy. But I keep thinking once we get that taken care of and get something in there that's right, it won't take that kind of maintenance
Yes,
again.
it's true. It's true. It's a lot less maintenance when you have something that belongs there, right?
Yeah,
and
yeah.
To do. But there's great native nurseries to call upon in Maui and other places that really specialize in that. And there's quite a few landscaping firms that focus on planting and caring for native plants also.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I keep thinking there's got to be somebody who would like to take on something like that and show a before and after picture.
Yeah.
If it's worth a 10% discount, 20% discount, that would be nice.
Definitely.
No, I'm kidding. But just to do that, it's just, it's depressing to look out there and look over that site.
Definitely.
But it's a
yeah.
huge hillside. Anyway, and when I first moved and built there, they had dumped all the trees that they had moved from the rest of the subdivision as they were developing it to my lot and just dumped them over the side. And so I had this pile of logs up there, right? Matter of fact, I couldn't even tell exactly where my lot ended
Oh wow.
because the pile was so thick and so high. 15 years later, that what happens to a pile of logs? It's gone from being above the top of that slope down to about 2/3 of the way down, and then whatever's growing is growing.
Right.
And it had all the wrong starts because whatever was attached to those trees took hold.
Sure.
Anyway, that's the story of my life. That's but I'm glad I have the hillside. But I just, as I listen to you, I think, gosh, I wish I knew more about it. So I could try to help come up with a plan, sort of thing.
Yeah, I think it's just spreading the word. We're one of those kind of hidden gems, I think, and really working with our kids to get them exposed, to get them outside, and having the opportunity to have those experiences and start to, have them be creative. I mean, the ideas that they come up with are just incredible to really, make an impact on the community and to try and mitigate invasives, for instance,
Right.
and like just the creativity in the young minds of this next generation is just incredible, and to tap into that and get them to tap into that is
Right.
really our main goal.
Well, for them, all things are possible.
Right.
Right?
Remember those days?
Yeah. Actually, I still have some days like that.
I mean, you're not in the
You know?
nonprofit sector if you're not a little bit of an idealist, right? So.
Right. Sure, we can do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Very good point. Very good point. Sometimes we forget that. Yeah, don't just look at the paperwork and say, "Oh my gosh, it can't be done." Think. Yeah.
And I think that if we as a community can start to figure out, better ways to not silo, right? That's my biggest kind of pet peeve in the process, right? Like how is all this connected, and how can we work together to have 2 + 2 = 5 versus 4, right? Leverage each other's resources and time and energy, and not be redundant in what we're doing, and take things to the next level.
Cool. Hey, well, this is the fastest half hour I've ever spent on the radio. But it's so fab. I mean, the things you guys are doing is so great, and I can see why you're continuing to volunteer there, because this is in your blood.
I love it. I mean, I grew up, I was really lucky. I grew up camping and outdoors and all of that, and I think my son went on his first hike. I got scolded from his dad, but I think I was like 4 or 5 weeks postpartum on this tiny little thing.
When most people aren't even taking him out to visit friends.
But you just
He's
get stir
camping.
crazy, right? I was just like, oh my God, I have to get out of here. So I got to go up a mountain, so.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
And so, but I mean, the thing is, I guess that what I like about it is he's intrigued by all the things that you've been teaching everybody, and he's bought into it.
The Nature Center has truly raised not only me, but him for sure. All the aunties and the uncles that have, taught him and babysat him, and, that he's spent time with. And, those values are definitely, core values for him. And I think that as our children grow, and I remember doing this too, you kind of like veer off the beaten path a little bit, but eventually you kind of migrate back to what and what you were raised
Right.
with. So that's really the hope, right? To plant those seeds early and to mulama them as time goes on.
Right. And to do when he says, "Mom, you can't do that."
I know. Right.
Yeah, he knows.
Oh, yeah, I know, you're right, yes. Wash the hydro flask, right? So.
Very good.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for being here, Jim.
Thank you.
And I really appreciate your being here on behalf of the Nature Center. And we, one more time, let's talk about that camp for 6 to 11-year-olds coming up on December 30th.
Correct.
It's a 6-day camp with January 1st off, I think you said.
Correct.
How can they get a hold of whoever they need to talk to?
So you can go to hawaiinaturecenter.org, and there's a button to be able to press to sign up on there. It's open now, and scholarships are being accepted until December 2nd, so that was coming up to an end. If not, the cost is discounted at $260 for the whole session, and preference for the scholarship is given to children who are in Title I schools. And again, the theme is amazing adaptations. And thank you again to Maui County Recycling Grant and MEO for the buses that they are so kindly donating for us to be able to take our kids. There's 2 field trips every week, and they go to Lo'i, they go visit the recycling center. Maui Disposal let us come and visit the recycling center. The kids were really excited to see what happens to all the recycling we do, like a recycling we have everybody bring in their recycling and take it to them, so that they get to
cool.
really get a sense
fun.
of that.
Yeah,
So.
neat. Okay, so one last time, the camp is December 30th to January 3rd, and that's Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m.
Correct.
Very good.
Thank you
Thanks,
so
G, for
much.
being here. Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving to you also.
Great, thank you. And we're going to shift gears a little bit, actually a lot, I think, aren't we? But you have camps.
We do. Yeah, we were just talking about that.
There you go. We're talking with Nancy Willis, who is the Director of Development and Marketing for the Maui Humane Society. How you doing, Nancy?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I'm pretty good. Hey, I'm so excited. The calendar's out.
Yes.
My little buddy Scooter is on the
I
calendar.
know.
He's Mr. December.
He's so cute.
Oh gosh, I tell you, I look
You
at
made
him.
it in. It was at the end. It was really a fight for space.
that vote count on that last day.
The last hour, the last 10 minutes was so exciting.
And I logged in and I thought, gosh, can I throw another bunch of votes in there to put him over the top? And I thought, no, I'm just going to let it ride out and see what happens. And he finished second, and the top 3 get to go in the calendar.
Yes,
So
in each category, yeah.
yeah, and he
was in the senior
dog.
because my dog Lulu
Right.
is Miss November, and she was also in the senior
Right,
category.
right. Yeah, we were neck and neck
Yep.
through most of the time
Yes.
until it got down to that last day, and then
Yeah.
I think both of us stepped back and said,
At some point you have to say enough. You know? I know all the money is going to the animals, but really, get it
Right.
together.
Right. And when we're talking about votes, the votes were $1 a vote.
Right.
And it really, well, you raised, what was it? A huge amount.
This was a record-breaking year. So every year I would go out and sell the calendars with my mom, an awesome volunteer. Every weekend we'd be at a different supermarket across Maui, traipsing our calendars out, traipsing my dog out. And we decided this year, let's try to make the money on the front end so every weekend we don't have to be out selling calendars. So we actually structured the contest a little bit differently. We had some prizes this year. We gave away the grand prize winner, got 2 tickets to our fur ball event.
Right.
And it was record-breaking. We brought in, after the company takes their fees, and would have over $21,000.
Wow.
Which was amazing. And then, of course, we sold the cover of the calendar at our fur ball event.
That was an
And
auction.
That was a live auction
Okay.
item. And some fabulous folks bought the cover for their dog. And so that was very nice. And that money all went to the shelter. So what that meant was we have been out selling them, but not nearly at the rate last year where we felt every weekend we had to be out, selling them. So it was a great year. Yeah.
Yeah, that's just, at $1 a vote, I mean, that's 21,000 votes.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, actually, it was more than that because actually you said you took out expenses.
Yes, yeah.
It was close to 26 or 27,000, I think, last number I saw.
Yeah. I had something
Someplace
like
in
that.
there, yeah. I mean, it was just incredible because your goal was what, 20?
I don't even think it was that much. I mean,
15?
Yeah, because last year
Someplace
we
in-
came in around 13,000.
Oh my gosh,
So
really?
almost double. Yeah.
Oh, that's incredible.
Yeah. The
Well,
prizes, I think, were some great incentive. And I just think all of the great work we've been doing, people, want to support
Right.
all of our efforts, our programs at the shelter, which is amazing.
Well, and the photos, I mean, of these dogs was just, I mean, I think what's so cool is they're not posed.
Yeah.
I mean, I walked by the couch one afternoon and Scooter was laying there sound asleep with his teddy bear and I thought, that is too cool. I got to take a picture of that.
Yeah.
And I never thought about it going anywhere besides, on my phone.
Yeah.
And showing it to some friends and stuff. And then who did I show? I showed it to Jerlene one day when we were out. And I said, he's just something else, isn't he? And she says, you've got to enter him in the contest.
Yeah.
That is a great photo. And so I thought, and then I thought, nah, nobody knows Scooter, and what the heck. Came in second.
Yeah.
And he got his first piece of fan mail yesterday.
Oh my gosh.
It was addressed to Mr. December.
Oh my gosh. How funny is that?
And I'm sitting there reading this. An email came to me, of course, and because it says on the calendar that he lives with Susie Tiemann in Kula. And so an old friend of mine, she's not old, we just have known each other for a long time, and I haven't talked to her in probably 3-4 years. Clear blue sky. Here's this email from her, and I thought, what the heck? And she said, that was Scooter, wasn't it, on the December page of the Maui Humane Society calendar? And she says her niece gave her a copy of the calendar,
Oh.
and she was just paging through it and saw that, and she said, oh my gosh, she said, he's so cute.
Yeah.
Hey, Scooter, look at this.
People actually recognize Lulu when I'm out because I usually take her with me everywhere. People will recognize her from the calendar or, oh, we saw you at 4th Friday last month, or because, I just drag her out.
Right.
Dog and pony show. She's always going. And it just always cracks me up when people recognize Lulu,
Yeah.
and I'm her sidekick.
It's just too cool. So people, if you haven't bought your calendar, great stocking stuffer.
We don't have many left.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, hurry to the
Yes.
Humane Society.
Yeah.
$10.
Yeah.
And it's a 13-month calendar.
Yep.
So get it and let's get going. Maybe next year you're gonna have to order more.
Well, we might. Yeah.
Let's see how it goes.
Yeah. The goal was to sell out.
Right. Sure.
Because we have had years past where we've carried them over for quite a while, but this year we had a great response, just overall. So yeah.
Well, it's a great calendar, and the photos the photos are absolutely fabulous. But let's talk about the other
Yes.
things that the Humane Society is doing. I mean, you've got so many things going on.
So much going on.
Wait a minute. Gary says we got to take a break, and then we
Okay.
can go for it.
Okay.
Aloha from Pacific Source, and thank you for your support over the years. Pacific Source has offered more of what builders and homeowners value most in building materials and cabinet design. We've done this by offering superior customer service and products, as well as by designing kitchens and baths that are intelligent and elegant while staying true to your vision and budget. Visit our showroom in Waikapu in Central Maui, where we display a variety of cabinets as well as top-name appliances like Sub-Zero, Wolf, Viking, KitchenAid, and more. We display countertops, tile and wood flooring, and several brands of windows and doors, including Fleetwood multi-slides and La Cantina folding doors. Come in and talk to our designers about making your dreams become a reality. From concept to completion, we really believe our attention to detail and superior service are what sets us apart. Let us show you what we mean. We are a Pacific Source at 515 East Oahe Way in the Consolidated Base Yard in Waikapu, just off Waiko Road. Call us at 986-0380. That's 986-0380, or look us up online at packsource.com.
And we are back. This is Maui Nonprofit Notes, weekly radio show where we talk story about what's going on in our world. And our world is the world of the nonprofits, and every nonprofit has its own set of situations they work with. I came to a blank. We all help people in different ways. And talking earlier with Gian about the Nature Center and the things they're teaching and working with the children on, I'm just in awe of what she was saying.
That was amazing.
I really would like to see that as an adult.
I didn't know anything about that.
Yeah.
I had never heard anything about any of it.
And I just,
And I didn't know about the first Saturday thing either. That sounds fabulous. I'm
Yeah.
going to look into that.
There you go.
I would love to go do that.
Yeah, that 3-hour volunteer
My mom
period.
would love that. She loves plants and nature, and so
Yeah.
I'm definitely going to look into that.
Good. That's great. Yeah. And that's what this show's all about,
Yeah.
talking about the things that, we don't, each one of our agencies do so many things, so many different things, so many different ways that it would be virtually impossible to get the word out to everybody what's available to them.
Right.
And that's, I think, why we started this show, is so we could talk about things as they come up, the things that are particular, like here we are in December, and we can talk about that. And just, we can do that on the show in a half an hour.
Yeah.
If I shut up and let you talk, you could do it. So let's turn it over to you, Nancy,
Sure.
and talk about the things that the Humane Society has going on here this month.
We have so much going on. It's crazy. First and foremost, though, I should say that we have hired a new CEO. His name is Steve McKinnon. He comes to us from the San Diego Humane Society, and he's been with us. This is week 4.
Oh, my goodness.
And he's still coming back, so that's good. He's actually over on the mainland getting ready to move and getting his family and dogs and house situated. So I know he was disappointed to not be able to be with you today, but next time.
We're going to have him
he
on.
He is teed up next time.
First of the year, he'll be
Yes.
one of the first people on.
So that's exciting. And what is happening? Well, probably first and foremost, a huge shout out to all of our community for stepping up. We've asked 4 times in 2 months for SOS fosters. We have been receiving huge numbers of animals into the shelter in the last couple of months. Unprecedented, really.
Any reason for it?
Well,
Are these large groups of dogs coming in?
So
together?
Probably most people have heard about, we had a large-scale situation where we've taken 47 animals out of one household since May. And so in 1 week, we got in 23 animals from that one household. So that was, we understood that. But last week, we took in 23 animals in one day, last Thursday, from all different places. And we don't understand that. It just all happened on the same day. So we've had lots of days and weeks like that.
Wow.
And we keep putting the ask out, and it feels a little bit like the boy who cries wolf. But every single time, if we're putting an SOS emergency ask out, we really are feeling full. We need the help. So we did something a little bit different last week. We put out a Thanksgiving asking people to take animals home through this week and through the weekend. And it was so well received, and it was just amazing. As a matter of fact, I was walking through the dog kennels yesterday, and a woman said to me, I want to foster a dog. And I said, well, great. I said, just look for the little foster me sign on the kennel. She's like, I don't see any. I said, well, that's weird. So I went back to ask, and they said, there's only one dog that can go out to foster. And we had more than one dog, of course. But certain dogs can go and some can't, some medical situations. And that one dog was out on Beach Buddies. So she put her name down and said, call me when that dog comes back. I'm going to come get her.
Oh, my gosh.
So it was amazing. So really, thank you to everybody anyone that's listening who took a foster dog home. I'm taking a foster dog home today.
Oh, that's what you said, yeah.
And it gives the animals a break. I know some people say, well, isn't that cruel? They feel like they've got a home. They don't think like people. They don't think in those terms. They're very in the moment. It gives them a break from the shelter life. If there are medical situations like the little guy I'm taking home today, gives them a quiet place to heal and to rest. And it makes room, quite frankly, for the animals that are probably going to keep coming in, Now,
it amazes me. You talked about 23 kind of almost individual dogs. I mean, were these dogs being turned in?
Cats and dogs. Both.
Okay.
Cats and dogs, yeah.
Were they being turned in by people who couldn't keep them, or were they lost, or what?
All
Everything.
of the above. Yeah, people that couldn't keep them, strays, humane enforcement maybe bringing animals in. There is a phenomenon, I hate to even say it, but there is a phenomenon around the holidays where people do bring their animals in, whether they're feeling a financial pinch, maybe they're going away and they don't have any other place to take them, whatever the case may be, and we try to be very non-judgmental, because you haven't walked in those people's shoes. You don't know what they're experiencing or dealing with. But it is a phenomenon that does happen around the holidays. But this has been unusual, the numbers of animals. So shout out to our amazing staff, our volunteers, everybody, our supporters, because it's been a rocky couple of months, and they have just done an awesome job.
That's what I was thinking. Since the fire days, that you guys have been on almost 24/7.
It feels like it. It really does feel like it, yeah. Because that's really kind of when this all started. We got back into the shelter, got settled, and then it feels like it's been kind of nonstop.
Yeah, just incredible.
Yeah.
And it's all ages of dogs and cats.
All ages. Right now there's puppies, there's everything. We actually have, so a couple weeks ago it was the cats. We had so many adult cats. So we have a program going right now that cats 6 months and older is a sponsored adoption. So we have a sponsor that is sponsoring all the adoption fees. So for anyone that comes in and adopts a cat 6 months or older, it's essentially free. Of course, we accept donations. If somebody wants to make a donation, that just pays it forward to help with medical care and all the things that we need. But that, animal comes with spay and neuter surgery, with a microchip, with a free vet visit. There's a lot that comes along with that. So that was to help us to find some of our adult cats' homes. This month, November, is Adopt a Senior Pet Month. So we are pick your price on any senior dog. So that would be 7 years or older. So people can come down to the shelter. Everyone knows we do Super Senior Sunday, which is you can pick your price on Sundays. Well, now it's every day through the end of November.
Whoa, that takes you up to Saturday, folks.
Yep. And, of course, we're closed tomorrow. But we're also doing a senior adoption event at Petco on Saturday from 11 to 1. One of the things that we hear a lot, and it's just not true, is that it's too sad to come to the shelter. We actually view it as a really happy place.
It is. I was just out there, and it's so much different from before. If anybody has not been there in the last 3 years, you really have to go out and take a look around, because It's the nicest I've ever seen any shelter.
It's night and day. And, you know, we see things we would like to do differently. It's an old building and it needs this, it needs that. But we every day have visitors come and say, this is amazing. What a beautiful place. Can tell the animals are loved. The staff care so much. But we still do here. You know, it's so sad, or I'll come there and I'll take them all home, which, okay, that's not a bad problem. You know, we can help you with that. But so we've started doing this once a month dog adoption event at Petco, who's our partner. Our cats, the cats that when you go to Petco and you see them in the kitty condos there, those are cats from the Humane Society. So we're doing a dog adoption event once a month there for the people that maybe are apprehensive to come to the shelter. So come down and see us on Saturday, see some of our fabulous seniors with that little gray muzzle. They're all looking for homes. And we're excited to be able to show off our animals.
And senior dogs are usually very much more calm. And relaxed, and they just want to be touched and felt and held and sit on your lap or next to you. And
yeah, I maintain that they also are so incredibly grateful that they know that they've been saved, you know, and maybe this is their last chapter in life. Wherever they've come from before, they know. You know, my girl's a senior, your dog's a senior. As a matter of fact, this little dog I'm taking today is a 6-month-old puppy. I haven't had a puppy in a long time, so I'm mentally preparing myself for everything that comes with a puppy. But yeah, I love the seniors.
Yeah. They're special, that's for sure.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah. So now you've had all your things like the photos with Santa and all that was done earlier.
Yeah, that was awesome. We had a great day. That was our adoption and wellness fair that we had. We were able to help 70 animals in the community to get microchip, to get nail trims, vaccines, all for donation, by donation. Wow. And, you know, we just wanted to give back to the folks in our community. So that was a great day a couple Saturdays ago. And we had Santa there to take photos. And it was a really fun day.
Right.
Yeah.
And, you know, I recall years ago people would say, you know, Christmas time is coming and it's awfully tempting sometimes to give those young kids in your household a puppy.
Yeah.
Don't do it.
Well,
is what
I don't know about don't do it.
Was drilled into my head.
Yeah,
so.
I think it's just to make sure everybody is on the same page and everybody understands what comes with adopting any animal, not just a puppy. It's a lot of responsibility, and everybody has to buy into it, and it can't be just mom's job, which is a lot of times what it ends up happening, you know? So that everybody understands how life changes,
right?
You know, and with a puppy especially, it's like having a little baby, and you know, they don't know anything, so you have to teach them. They don't know they're not supposed to, you know, go potty in the house. You have to teach them, and you have to have patience, and so it's just important for people to know what they're getting into.
Well, I think when people were drilling that idea into our heads, it was because it seems to me, and I could be wrong about this, but it seems to me that they were talking about how after Christmas, so many of them are returned because they weren't a good fit for the family.
That does happen occasionally, but that can happen anytime.
Right.
You know, you don't ever really know what you're getting, especially with a shelter animal. You don't know their history. We do the best we possibly can to find out about the animal. That's where our volunteers come in. They'll write up what we call hanging with the humans. So they take them out for a walk and they observe behaviors like this dog loves to walk, or this dog is a runner, or this dog loves toys or the water. So we try to get as much information as we can, put it all that goes into the animal's file. And when somebody comes and says, hey, I'm a runner, we can say, listen, these 3 dogs, we know they love to run. You know, we try to steer them and make those love matches so that we lessen the chances that the dog will come back because it wasn't what they were expecting.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you give gift certificates?
We don't do gift certificates, no.
No, I was thinking if somebody wants to give a puppy, but maybe it's like right after Christmas, we'll go down and we'll spend a couple Saturdays checking out.
It really should be that everybody comes down and meets the animal. And certainly if there's another animal in the household, we advise a meet and greet. Everybody has to agree, especially if there's an existing animal in the house.
Right.
You know. So, yeah. And we're also doing something really fun. We've done it the last couple of years where if there is an adoption that's done in those few days before Christmas, We will, and you're doing it as a gift. And again, we kind of go through this whole, what we've just talked about. But let's say you do want to make it a surprise. We will actually do deliveries on Christmas Day.
Oh, wow.
We have all of our little elves who are ready to deliver on Christmas Day. And we've done it the last couple of years, and it has been so much fun.
Oh, I'll bet.
And it's been, we get the pictures, and it's so amazing. Yeah. So we're doing that. Yeah. From the 20th through the 24th, if that's something that you're interested in. Again, our adoption counselors will talk through, the process, because it's important for everyone to understand. But it is a fun thing to open up, the door, and there's a cute little kitty or a little puppy. So,
look what Santa Claus brought.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a nice twist on it.
Yeah.
So that's going the other direction. But like you say, you've got all the information on the
Yes.
animals, what they like, what they don't like.
Yeah.
And the last thing you want to do is give a water type dog to somebody who doesn't care about water.
Yeah. We very much do what we call an open adoption process, where it's more about having a conversation. It's less about rules and regulations and giving us, all your landlord's information and home checks. It's more about a conversation. Who are you? What kind of animal are you looking for? What's going to fit in with your family? What's your living situation? So really talking through that. And if the animal they have their eyes on maybe doesn't feel like the right fit, maybe we steer them a different direction, or, so it's more conversational.
Right.
Yeah.
And it could be that there's sometimes when the right dog isn't there at the shelter right now.
Yeah. Yeah. And we see people come in time and time again. People always say, could you put me on the list for a hypoallergenic dog? I'm like, well, we don't really keep lists, but just keep checking, because whenever animals are available, they go right up on the website and are available to see. So all of our adoptables are on the website.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Interesting. Wow. Thank you so much. Any
Thank you.
last comments you want to make? Time is just about up.
No, just thank you so much for the support over the years.
hey.
And
My pleasure.
Yeah.
My little buddy wouldn't be in my house without you guys.
oh, thank you.
You saved him when he was in trouble,
Aw.
and he found as a 5-year-old he found a home for the last 14 years now. So he's
Wow.
19.
Oh my gosh,
And,
really?
and somebody said the other day he could be 22, 25.
The littles, yeah.
That particular mix, or at least
Yeah.
as they looked at him.
Yeah, mine is, well, it's always a guess, but they thought she was 11 or 12, so that was 4 years ago, so maybe 15.
15, yeah. Yeah, they're special.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Nancy.
Thank you, Susie.
And we will get Steve on here
Yes. Yes, he
early
knows.
next year.
He knows.
Okay. Happy Thanksgiving to
You
you
too.
and your family.
You too. Thank you.
And your and the puppy you're taking.
Well, we'll see how that goes.
Maui Nonprofit Notes is sponsored as a community service by Pacific Source, the builder's choice. Please give them a call at 986-0380 or stop by their showroom in the Waikapu Bayshard on East Oahe Way to see how they can help you with your building project. Pacific Source has been our sponsor from day one, and we thank them for their ongoing support. And to you, our listeners, we thank you for the response our agencies get from you regarding the activities that we talk about during this program. Maui Nonprofit Directors Association's mission is to provide personal and professional support to nonprofit executive directors, their organizations, and the community of Maui. Please visit our website at mauinonprofit.org for a list of member agencies. We want to thank you again for tuning in. Don't forget to join us again next week, right here, same time, same place, when we'll feature 2 other representatives of Maui Nonprofit Directors agencies. Until then, I'm Susie Tiemann, Executive Director of Lokahi Pacific, and your host for Maui Nonprofit Notes. And to all of you out there, we wish you a happy Thanksgiving. And remember, we all have something to be thankful for. Think a little bit about what that is. Take the time. We want to thank you for joining us. Have a great week. Aloha.